good evening. We got to change the opening around to,
Hey, I'm here now and he's not.
and sometimes Miguel. I don't know where Miguel is tonight. We hadn't heard anything. Hopefully everything's all right.
Hopefully.
But Russ almost did make it because he had a conservation meeting. But they're not going to take that up until late.
It's bugging. Let me throw a couple things out here. Okay. First off, you were on the planning board.
Yep.
You know what that is? That's an agenda, folks.
Right.
By rule,
Yep.
you must have an agenda for everyone that comes in the door.
Yep.
I had to beg for this. I had to beg the guy
they're
to
not
give
used
me
to-
his agenda.
They're not used to a lot of people coming in.
That's nonsense. So the first thing at 7:05, 7 o'clock is Citizens Forum. 7:05 is public hearing of off Spring Street, Winston Woods, proposed construction of a 9-lot residential. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you got the Moon Hill Estates,
Yep.
42. Then you got Main and Arcade Streets, Lovey's Marketplace, proposed construction of a shed and brush clearing. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we've got a public hearing for 195 Sutton Street, a single-family dwelling with a buffer within the proposed renovation of a single-family dwelling within a buffer zone. Then we have at 740 supposedly Carpenter Estates, Hannah Drive, proposed amendment to include revised work to a subdivision. And then, wow, at 7:50, which I was told they wouldn't get to it till at least 8:15, 8:30, the Balmer School, $110 million, and it's the last friggin' thing on the menu.
They do that on purpose because they figure that's going to be the lengthiest.
It's just ridiculous. You should have, people cannot hang around all night. That's the most important thing we have going on in the town. And you want to know the best part about it? It's already behind.
It's already behind.
It's already behind.
You mean on the time
The
frame?
whole project is behind. Here's another pisser of a little ditty. This thing is from Falvey Associates. These are the people that are going to do the inspections of your home. Okay?
They already started.
Oh, I know. Do you know how you get this legal document? Would you like to take a guess how you get this legal document?
You have to go to the conservation.
No. Some guy sticks it in your front door. This is a legal document. He stuck it in the front door. Had I not been changing the glass to screen, I would have never known it was there because I don't use the front
Yeah, you
door.
don't use
I
the-
use the breezeway door.
Yep.
I have neighbors up and down the road going, "Did you get this thing?" I'm like, "Yeah," because the guy knocked on my door.
I know he's been into some houses.
Yeah, he was in mine. This project is a farce. They've already picked. They don't have a permit from you, the planning board, not you.
No, they don't. No, they don't have planning. No, that's coming up next week.
Oh,
Next
okay,
Tuesday.
but they don't have one.
No.
The Conservation Commission has 2 more public hearings. Haven't given the okay. Yet they've picked the subcontractor, the contractor, and some of the subs. They don't even have permits yet. And they got the guys doing inspections on your house.
Right. That's in case of blasting and.
Oh, I know what it is. And I get it, and it's a great idea. But you don't even have a permit.
Well, they don't have a building permit yet because they haven't gone through site plan review.
I get it, but you already got a contract with a contractor.
Well, I mean, they assume that everything's going to be approved.
Do you know the next ditty? They want to name it.
Oh, I know. And, you know, this is because we have a lot of new people in town. And I told someone said, why would they? I said, because they don't know who Dr. Balmer was. I do because I used to get shots from him.
And look what happened to you.
Yeah. No, you know, I'm old enough that when they first came out with the polio vaccine, I was one of the, early recipients. And we didn't get polio, too. So, but it started as shots and then it turned to a drink.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. And he was the one who gave out the shots and then the drinks. And he was pretty old at that time, and he, looking at your arm. he was pretty up there at that time. You know that he was one of the first graduates from the new high school. At the time, it was the Aldridge School.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's how far back he goes.
So-
And he was a school doctor, though.
Oh, wow.
And that's how he became, they named the Bomber School after, he had already passed away by 1968. But his portrait hangs up in the
Oh,
lobby.
I know. I've seen it a bazillion times. So are we going to name this after a past, superintendent or something?
No, what they had on there was Dawes, the soldier killed in Afghanistan,
Oh, yeah.
which, I have no problem.
I got a sneaky suspicion it was just his anniversary, too, because there was a lot more flowers out.
Yeah, it was in April.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I
he
thought
died,
so.
he died in
Awful.
April.
Awful.
It is. He's got a beautiful memorial, which
know,
is
it's
good,
gorgeous.
which is really good.
Doesn't help him.
No,
We just
But-
got to stop sending our kids over there to get their asses blown off.
I know.
These stupid places.
Yep.
So this is getting worse and worse by the day. So lo and behold, here it comes. Lo and behold, I go see my granddaughter
Yep.
on Sunday. My daughter-in-law says to me, "Hey, I met a guy at swimming for the kids, and he told me what he did." I said, "What did he do?" He said, "He's the engineer for the Bomber School." I said, "You don't want me to meet him. It would be a really bad idea for me to meet him."
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're taking it up next week on a planning board, and you tell me how wet it is out there and how much swamp. How they placing this?
It's ridiculous.
And I understand they have to move it again from what they originally thought.
It's absurd. You have a 400-yard pipe from the back corner of the school all the way to Arcade Pond.
Yep.
There's the man.
Oh, hey,
There's
yeah,
the man.
right there.
Got held up a little bit.
I guess so.
Sorry, guys.
I hope not in real life held up.
That's never happened to me,
That's a good thing. It happened to me 13 times in New York City.
13 in New
13
York
times
City.
out of 20 days.
Yeah,
Worked in Harlem doing disconnects for the telephone company.
13 times.
13 out of 20 days. It held up.
You know, I heard there's a street in New York City where a guy gets hit by a car every 15 minutes.
Oh, no lie.
That guy should move out of there, right?
Oh, yeah, I think so. When I took my wife to New York City once.
Now, where's the drums?
Ba-dum-bum.
What was that?
When I took my wife to New York City when we just first got together, and
Yeah.
and she'd never been to New York City, and we were walking up Broadway, and we're right at 53rd Street because Radio City was right there,
Yeah.
and a guy ran out of 53rd Street, across Broadway, got hit by a car, rolled up across the window, across the.
That's not funny. Is it supposed to be funny?
Oh, no, it was bizarre. He rolled up across the hood, across the windshield, down the other side, never missed a stride, kept running. My wife went, "Did you see him?" Like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. It just
I
happened."
remember
like a
going
regular
down,
thing.
going down to New York in the 70s, and we were on Port Authority, and I says to the guy, "How do I get out to 42nd Street?" He goes, "Right out that door, hold on to your wallet."
I'll tell you an amazing story about the Port Authority at 42nd Street. Do you know what a chicken hawk is?
Chicken hawk?
Okay.
Yeah.
In the old days, there was what they called a chicken hawk. And my cousin ran a transportation company. I was going in and out of the city all the time, picking up cars and going, all that stuff. Well, I was very, very busy when I was young. And the chicken hawks would hang out in the Port Authority bus terminal. And when the young girls would come from Kansas or Kentucky, or
Try and make a living in New York.
they would, "Hey, come with me," and they would turn them into hookers.
Oh.
Well, there was this Irish cop who had to be 6'6", and he had a billy club that he had a strap on his arm, and he would hide behind the pillars. And as the chicken hawk would walk by with the girl, he would step out and he'd cuff the guy in the back of the head. And a couple of times he flipped him, and he'd just leave him laying there, and he'd walk away with the girl.
Kind of deserves it.
Now you couldn't do that today.
No,
Yeah.
There
no.
would be, but I used to watch. I used to stand there and watch. Go, wow! I'm glad he's not hitting me.
Another one bites the dust.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a crazy place. We were just talking about the Bomber School and
The
how
Bombers?
stupid the Conservation Commission had it last on the agenda tonight.
Like I told you, that they figure that's going to take a long time. Because that is a problem down there. I mean, we're taking it up with the planning board next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to a long meeting. Oh, God,
But that's
like I
already
need
a
that.
done deal, isn't it? You know, like, what are you guys
They're
gonna?
behind already,
Well,
They're
it's
behind
way
already?
behind.
it's a done deal in a sense that they figure everything will get accepted. And, you have to good reason not to.
Yeah.
But where it's gonna be situated on that property could be a question. Because it
Lot of
is
water.
wet.
Lot of water.
Mm.
There's a culvert across the street from my house, between my house and my neighbor's house, right across the street, that the water comes down a pipe that they put in years ago from the back of the development that runs into that culvert all day long, sometimes 2 pipes full, all day long.
Well, you gotta figure that
So that's pretty
these
wet.
ponds and that actually wasn't a pond there, that was probably a meadow. And then the shop dammed it up. But the thing is, because the whole village was a meadow. They filled it up, it's all fly ash. Well, all these brooks drained,
Our favorite fly ash.
all these brooks drain down to the river. It's the same with the Blackstone, all your brooks come down and they dump into the Blackstone River. That's how the river fills up, all the way down its course. You have brooks from all over flowing in. I mean, Carpenter Reservoir, that was a stream, Casey Brook,
Really?
yeah.
So they dammed it?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah, they made it Carpenter Reservoir, they made it a reservoir for water in case the Mumford River was down, they needed the water power. Even after they weren't using the water wheel anymore, they were still using water power for electricity. The shop made its own electricity for years, they had the power plant in there. So, they needed the water in the summertime when the pond the river would drain down, they had the reservoir they could dump into it. And if you go way up Hill Street, I mean, way up, you can see where that brook comes down, and it flows down behind, and finally empties out in New Pond. And if New Pond was drained down, Carpenter Reservoir, you would see the tree stumps where they cut all the trees.
Is that area considered a wetland at
Yeah.
all?
Well, yeah,
Oh,
now,
yeah.
because it's
So-
wet. If there's any water nearby, it's a wetland.
You know where the church is?
The
By your house?
Pleasant Street?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fairlawn Church.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Between there and the school is a culvert
Yep.
that drains all of that water into it.
Yeah.
And it's mushy. It's even in the fall last year, it was mushy. And then there's a pipe that goes all the way underneath the Balmer School, all the way down to Arcade Pond.
Well,
Do you realize that's 400 yards?
the whole development where you are,
It was a forest.
that was all swampy in there.
But I know, like, I was talking to somebody the other day, this woman who's trying to buy a house in some town, doesn't matter, I think it's Shrewsbury anyway. And there's a area of the back of the land that she wants to build on that's a little moist. And they're giving her all kinds of trouble.
Wetlands
So-
is distinguished by what grows there.
Yeah.
Okay, certain plant vegetation is how they distinguish it as wetlands.
But was that area of Balmer School gonna go consider at all a wetland?
It is.
That's why that's
Why,
conservation.
why aren't the environmentalists up in arms against them?
Well, they're looking at it, that's why conservation has to do a.
Not that I
a
agree
hearing.
always with that, but I mean, they don't, aren't they like, didn't they step in before this whole thing going? Said, "No, you
Well,
can't."
they have to look at it and they have to see how much of a disturbance they're gonna do to the wetlands
Yeah.
and what of effect it'll have. And if you're gonna drain it, that's where the engineers come in.
And this whole thing was planned without even thinking about that.
Well, I'm sure they took it into consideration, but how far in consideration, I don't know.
I met with the engineer
Yeah,
for the wetlands. I walked the property with her,
yeah,
and she's very sharp. And her philosophy, we were candid discussion. Candid discussion.
Yeah.
Her philosophy is to overkill.
overkill.
Overkill. If I believe in any way this is going to disturb that wetland behind the school,
Don't
they
do
won't
it.
build that.
They won't build it.
She said,
They won't
I
build
will,
it there.
she says, I will have them move it, or I will have them replicate it,
Right.
or,
Find a new location.
well, not that.
So is
no,
that
because
bad? Is that bad news for the Balmer School people
Well,
then?
no, because what she's going to do is they're going
They
to
have to
create a
redesign.
program.
They have-
Yeah.
when they first started the program, first off, they did not have the culvert behind my house on it. They did not have the culvert that's on the, next to the sidewalk going into the schoolyard on it. So now she knows that they're there. She knows what the pipe is. They are going to have to change that pipe. So that is going to be torn up completely. It's going to be a 48-inch pipe.
Yeah.
Now, I would lay you odds that the 48-inch pipe that's underneath there is probably concrete. I'm sure it's disintegrating. So now they'll use a product, a two-layer pipe that will be better. But still, I mean, you're talking about, you're already behind.
Does that
the eight
mean
ball.
that the taxes that they're already going to raise are probably going to be higher than they're saying then? Is that
Well,
what
I
you're
don't know. See, I never got to see the budget on this, and I would have liked to see what the contingency was, because you have to have a contingency.
Yeah.
There's got to be a percentage of the project that has a contingency in it.
Yeah, they usually go somewhere around
10%.
10%.
Yeah, 10%.
So it's got to be up there. And believe me, when they do municipal work, they use the 10%.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
They always go over.
Yeah, of course they do.
I mean,
Because you have
that's,
your change orders go crazy.
yep,
People bid the job, and then there's change orders. Well, look at the change order at the high school.
yeah,
It was $1.5 million
yeah,
for ledge that didn't exist.
right. There was no ledge there.
No ledge there. Yeah. Hey, Roger. God rest your soul.
Yep.
You were right again.
Oh, by the way, you mentioned Roger. Neil Mitchell passed away.
Yes, that's right. I meant to say that.
Yeah, so
Shocking. He was an engineer.
condolences to Neil Mitchell's family.
Yeah.
The reason I mention him is because him and Roger actually came and did a show with me at the old studio concerning the DPW garage. And so they had teamed up on that. And,
Sharp guy. Sharp guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he was an engineer.
Yeah, he taught at Harvard.
Oh, yeah.
He's a really smart guy, but he unfortunately passed. Well, we all have to go
Hey,
someday.
nobody gets out of this life alive.
No, we don't.
Nobody gets out alive.
And the more I see that are going, they're getting closer to me.
That's awful.
You know
That's
what
why-
I was, sorry to interrupt you there, Ross,
It's all
but
right.
there's one thing I was thinking about on the way here. I remember last week, a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned you were doing litter patrol, right? You were picking up
Yes.
stuff around your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, I saw people on where's that road where Walmart is, that Main Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there are a few people, I don't know if they're volunteers. or
Main
something.
Street. I mean, Walmart sends people out to pick up the litter around their grounds.
Yeah, these people were on the street, they're picking up,
Yeah.
With bags
Walmart
and
sends them out on
whatever.
the street there to clean up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they had like 3 TV sets that they found that were on the sidewalk there. Now see, here's the thing I don't understand. This is what kind of I'm thinking. I don't understand it, and I've seen it. I've seen people drive in their cars. I actually saw a guy one time, and I said, driving the car, you're drinking your McDonald's cup. He just toss it out the window, like the street is your garbage can.
Wait, they don't care.
I don't understand that.
You know?
We need the Indian back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember the Indian?
He's
You don't really remember.
the Indian that cried.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
He's actually
commercial.
like he's an Italian guy actually.
He's
Is
an
he
Italian-
really?
Yes, he's
Oh, that's
he is. He
hysterical.
really is. He's an
Oh,
Italian
that's
guy.
too funny.
He's played the part of
That
Indians
is
in numerous movies. And
Hysterical. I did not know that.
he looks
Yeah.
like the guy on the Indian head nickel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
he's
don't
Italian.
understand that. Do you understand that? Does
No,
that make sense
I don't
to
get
you?
it.
I
My
don't
son,
understand it.
well, my son's going to be 45 now. So back when he was a teenager, he was an Eagle Scout. His Eagle project, we did a cleanup from Riverdale to Cars of the Blackstone River.
Mhm.
I walked along the river in Rockdale, inside the river, okay? I must have pulled out a half a dozen TV sets.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get rid of it, throw it in the river. It'll be submerged. They were all submerged, you couldn't see them.
Well, I don't understand.
But I
used
had
to-
boots on and a stick and I plugged for stuff.
What is that pond that has the cross on it? There's a cross or something. You know that pond down there? What has this?
You mean Meadow Pond?
Metal pond.
That,
yeah.
That's the old, that's a flagpole for the,
Flagpole, yeah, or something.
for the,
you know, looks like
Sea
a
Scout
cross.
camp.
Sea Scouts, right. Okay.
But I see, I used to go there, take the kids sometimes, do a little swimming.
Yep.
And the first time I went there, when I first moved to this town, I couldn't believe the garbage.
Oh,
And I took, I took a bag to pick up because I go there.
yep,
It's just, you can't, It's like other people go there. Why do they do that? I don't understand it.
On the corner,
Don't
I
you
live on the
care of
corner.
your neighbor? Care
I,
of you?
I live on the corner, and every Saturday, Sunday, we pick up the trash that's on the corner.
Yeah.
It goes on and on.
People
People have
are
no
s-
respect.
No.
I don't understand. You don't care for your neighborhood? You know, maybe you don't live there. Maybe you just but throwing the stuff out of your car. It's,
Leave it in
You
your
gotta go
car
get
till you
gas.
get home.
Sooner or later, you gotta go get gas.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And in every gas station is a trash barrel.
Right.
yeah, well, take it
Put it in the
home.
trash barrel. Take it home. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
And I actually, one thing that I didn't believe was in Boston. I was in Boston one time, and this lady was walking with another lady in front of me, and they had one of those containers where, you know, the styrofoam containers are about this big.
Yep.
And she was eating something out of it. I was right behind her, walking right behind her, about where you are. I'm over here walking, just a little slow pace. She finishes whatever she was eating, and she throws it like this.
And it hits you.
No, it didn't hit me. No, it just like,
Could have.
what? It's just I couldn't believe it. I guess, why do you do that?
No respect. No respect for
And
where
you know,
live.
I'm the last person. I'm not like a freaky. I'm not crazy. I'm super this high fanatic environmentalist, whatever. I still don't agree with it. I don't think that that's right.
Hey, look. In Boston, there's people that defecate on the Boston Common.
Well, that's a different story.
That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful walking through there now.
Scary.
It's even worse in San Francisco.
Oh, I know San
yeah,
Francisco.
They give
is
you a
horrible.
map.
I heard
They
it's
give
you a map to stay
disaster
away.
over there. That's a disaster over there right now. That's what I, yeah.
But you know, I visited an army buddy down in New York. This is a few years back in the '90s, and we were walking around the city, and he said, "Wait a minute!" He walks over the side of a building and takes a leak. I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna
When
go?"
you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah. He said, "Where am I gonna go?"
Yeah.
And you're from New York, so you probably did
Never
the same.
done that.
No.
Never done that. Know where the bathrooms are. No, never done that. That's just creepy.
But
You're
you know,
from New York, Russ?
I was born in the Bronx. I lived
Oh.
I lived in the city, and then I lived in Jersey for years, and then
You,
we moved
you
up
were
here.
you born near where Ocasio-Cortez was born in the Bronx there, or anywhere near that same neighborhood? Or?
Not really. I was a 1340 Nelson Avenue, which was right off the Grand Concourse.
Yeah.
That's where we lived.
not near Fort Apache.
No, that was South. It's Bronx. South Bronx is tough.
That's not the same anymore.
No.
It's completely different now.
Oh, it's just like Hoboken.
Yeah.
Gentrification.
Gentrification.
You can't afford to live there now.
Yeah, they really kicked it. They kicked
A lot
it
of things
hard.
in
Well,
Boston,
nobody wants
yeah.
to live in the city.
Right.
You know, nobody wants to live in the city. It's too much.
It's a lot of money.
Plus, yeah, the
But
congestion.
you know, talking about you go to Boston, you walk around Tremont Street.
Mm-hmm.
There's no place to go. Go into McDonald's. There's a sign, bathroom for patrons only.
Yeah.
So you got to go buy a hamburger if you want to use the bathroom.
Well, that's because they had so many homeless people
right.
going
Yeah.
in the bathrooms and people doing drugs in the bathrooms,
Yep.
and
Right. Exactly.
you know they gotta,
Yeah.
And also too many tourists that just come in and use the bathroom.
yeah, turistas.
Yeah. So
He comes from New York. He can speak Spanish too.
I actually do.
You do.
Actually, I'm not anymore. I used to when I ran a window manufacturing company. Everybody was Hispanic.
The rest of the
So
show, he's got to speak in Spanish.
No, I don't know it
Starting
that well
now.
anymore. I know enough to get myself in trouble now. My wife used to go crazy when we go to Mexico. We go to, we go down to Dominican and stuff, and I start talking a little bit, and she goes, "You're going to get us killed." I'm like, "No, I'm just there. It's simple, What time is it? Where's the bathroom? I want to, what kind of drinks? What's on the menu?
All the safe stuff.
All the safe stuff. I don't get into
Yeah.
deep, conversations with it anymore. I don't, because I took it for so many years.
Yeah.
And when you use it, when you use it, you can,
Oh, yeah.
you can, every day it's okay.
I forget my Spanish sometimes. Some words.
I
Well, you
I
don't
haven't
use
used
it.
it in so long.
No, I don't.
yeah, you don't use it, you will forget.
I
I
forget
know
my English, too.
I know one of them. I know one of the. I know one of. I know one of the statements that always get you in the good.
What's
with
that?
people at work. Mucho trabajo, poco dinero.
I
You know
know.
what that means?
Dinero is money,
Well, much work, no money.
right?
Much work for little
not
money.
enough money.
Yeah, mucho is much. I know a little bit of Spanish, very little.
Un poquito.
Yeah, un poquito. Yeah, that's.
But that was what I couldn't understand anyway. I was just thinking about that. So, is anybody listening out there, if you do that, Don't do it.
No, I know. I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, but the number one thing I pick up are the nip bottles.
Yeah. Beer cans.
You,
Oh, nobody wants alcohol in their car because if they get stopped, they're in
Right.
trouble.
you have the situation where you have what's going on in the world. Forget the country, the world of the trash that's being dumped in the ocean.
Oh,
It is going to change the climate because you look at the coloration of the oceans, at how they're changing. Well, you know why the ocean up here is darker than it is in the Caribbean.
no, I didn't
There's
know.
more
that.
life,
There's more
Oh,
life?
really?
much more life in the water up here. The Caribbean, they've been dumping everything in the ocean for so long that it's settled and killed most of the plankton and there's
Oh,
protoplasms.
it's more
and
plankton up here.
oh yeah, well it's like
More of the stuff that you can't really see it, but it's there.
right. It's in it. But there's more life. And I was watching a program how the waters are changing. You can actually see it from the satellites how the coloration
Oh,
of
yeah.
the water is changing. You got to stop these people from dumping crap in the ocean.
Don't they do it like in big numbers anyway? Isn't
They
that like-
used to in New York City.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
The barge used to go out.
153rd Street.
Yeah.
153rd Street was the barges, and the trash trucks would back up, dump it onto the barge,
Yeah.
press it, another truck, and then the barge would go out into the ocean,
Yeah.
and it would open up.
Expect
Anyway.
for it to disappear.
Yeah.
Along with a few
Yeah.
bodies.
Well, yeah. No, we had Giant Stadium.
That's what Jimmy Hoffa is.
Giant Stadium has plenty of them. That's where Jimmy's in the end zone. They never found him when they tore that up, you know.
I know.
We never found him.
No.
They
They
actually
tore
tore,
up.
it up,
Well, yeah, they put the new stadium in.
and they didn't find them.
Nothing.
But you know, you talk about Boston Harbor has been cleaned up.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty clean now.
When I lived in New York City, my grandfather used to fish in the Hudson River.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
One
What
of the
killed
big
that
things
was
was
GE
eels.
with the
How is the Hudson
PCPs.
River now? I mean, I've
Oh,
been.
you could walk across it.
Is it
They
nice
killed it
now?
with
Is it
the
clean?
manufacturers along
You
the,
could walk right across it.
the manufacturers.
What?
especially
Oh,
the
you mean it's not that
PCPs.
clean?
Oh, look, they landed a plane.
Yeah.
It took a while to sink.
So it's in tough shape? Because
Yeah,
it's a beautiful
it's-
river. It's a
It's
beautiful.
it's unbelievable.
But you-
up north, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to realize, what did you have going into it? You had the Erie Canal.
Yep.
There was huge manufacturing on the Erie Canal.
Oh, yeah.
Filtering right down, and then everything that was built on that river was dumped into that river.
You had the Mohawk River dumping in
Yeah.
there. The Mohawk is
Wow.
got all kinds
Paper.
of paper
Paper
mills.
mills.
Paper mills galore. Yeah, you go up. It's very industrialized up around Albany, Troy,
Schenectady, yeah, sure.
the Tri-City area,
Yeah.
especially Troy.
Weird when you first see the Erie Canal for the first time. It's very strange.
Yeah,
It's very strange because you hear about it and you never really, you see it and you're like, oh, this is where the barges and everything came
Yep.
from. You know, we went from the.
Is it pretty big?
It's not as big as you think.
no,
Yeah.
but it's still used.
Yeah, they still have boats on it.
Yeah, I've driven along it a number of times. If you drive out to Buffalo, you're basically going along the Erie Canal,
Yep.
Oh.
and you can go to different points where the locks are.
Yeah.
And it's really something to see. We stopped in one city, coming back, and there was some Boy Scouts coming with canoes, and they were going through the locks. But the barges still come through, but it's still a cheaper way to transport, even cheaper than train, because they can put a lot of stuff on those barges.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Push them through. Push them through. You know, it's amazing how America was created with is a river, a railroad, a road.
Yep.
It's funny. One of my favorites is to go to the Housatonic River.
Yeah.
Because it goes all the way up. You know, all the way up to, you know, almost to the Erie Canal. It ties off into the Hudson. But it's just a gorgeous river. And it's funny because the whole length of it, with all the turns, is the river, a railroad,
Oh, really?
and a road.
Yep.
All the way up. And it's gorgeous. I mean, it's just a beautiful area.
Huh.
Now we got a Housatonic in Massachusetts, out Western Mass. Goes through Westfield, comes out of the Berkshires. And we actually have a tunnel that connects Vermont and Massachusetts, railroad tunnel,
I didn't know that.
the Housatonic Tunnel, and it's supposedly haunted.
Huh.
But you go there in the summer, and there's people sitting on their lawn chairs at the mouth of the tunnel
Yeah.
because the cool air comes out of the tunnel.
Oh, wow.
And in fact, I had a great grandfather, not a great grandfather, but a great uncle, I believe it was, or an aunt that worked on that tunnel.
Oh, wow.
They went right through the mountain.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it Ross Rajat that worked on the after the New Deal when everybody went to the
Yeah, he worked on the no, I can't, the WPA.
WPA, right?
Yeah.
Ross Rajat was a
Well,
gentleman.
he was in the civilian corps.
He was a gentleman that lived in town and at a heart of this big, just
yeah.
a heart of gold, rode a bicycle everywhere,
Yep.
phenomenal human being, children's rights advocate, wrote bills for to be passed through the state house and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendous man.
His mom and dad grew up, lived across the street from me, in the sixth family across the street. And I seen his his sister get married. Shirley, I remember her when she got married. She's living up in Winchendon now with her daughter,
What was his son's name?
Homer.
Homer. Homer
Yep.
was a dispatcher for the police department for years.
He had a daughter too from his first marriage.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he married a woman in Paris
Oh, wow.
from France, and they came here and they ended up divorced. And Evelyn, I went to school with her, and she left with her mother, but I guess they got back together before he died. So that was good anyway. But Homer was his son from his second marriage.
Okay.
A woman that he met up in New Hampshire. He used to go up to New Hampshire. He knew all the presidential candidates.
Oh,
He
yeah.
would meet them all.
Yep.
He communicated on a regular basis with Dole, Bob Dole. They would write
The
letters
bridge right
back and
here?
forth.
Is it right here? Oh, no.
Over here, the bridge over here, the bridge
On 122.
on 122 over to Blackstone.
Is
As you
named
leave
for
in
Ross
Rockdale.
Rajat.
Oh, okay.
I filed that legislation.
Did you?
Yeah.
That was a great guy.
I called the Senator Moore's office and George Peterson's office, and I said, and Ross was still alive. I said, I want to dedicate the bridge to Ross. And what? I said, because he is a perfect example of a citizen,
Oh,
a
yeah.
great citizen. He went to war, came back home, got involved in politics, holds the record, because in Massachusetts, you can submit legislation, and they have to put it on the floor. It's in the Constitution within Massachusetts. And he held the record for requesting legislation that was filed. In fact,
Most of it was for
Yep.
children.
but the one that made the most news was when he filed a bill to require diapers on dogs.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Did
I
that go
remember
through?
that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And Senator Moore, Dick Moore, at the time, got a call from a news guy in Australia asking him about it. And he says, I don't know what you're talking about. He hadn't seen it. Yeah, but that made news around the world. He was filed the bill. But it made sense, though, because you think about it. How many people walk their dog and the dog does its thing and they just leave it?
A lot.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
That's why we have a sign out there, no dogs on a playground,
Yeah.
because but they're out there anyway.
Well, even in the bomber school, it says no dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs in there all the time.
Yep.
Kids playing football, baseball, whatever, boom.
But that's what he
stepping
was
in.
trying.
I saw a lady. What was the name? What's the name of the? You know, when you go down Benson, you have the cemetery down there.
Yeah,
Then you take a left
the
there.
Riverdale Cemetery.
Yeah, you take a left. You keep going. You go all the way to where you can turn right to go up to Quaker Street if you
Yeah.
wanted to.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
little monument there. I think it's a war monument in that corner, that very corner. There's some kind of a.
The cemetery?
No, after that. It's like a war monument or something.
Oh, you got me stumped
There's a
here.
church. There's a big. Oh man, what is that? Where there's the mill. There's a curtain factory or something.
Oh,
he's
you're
talking
going
about
the other direction
Yeah,
here.
right down here.
Yeah, what is that monument there?
Oh, the one they just rebuilt?
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
the
if
World
they-
War II monument.
I think they're
World War
rebuilt.
One.
It's a
World War
World
One, I
War
think.
One. I
Yeah.
saw a lady with a dog there, and the dog was peeing on the monument.
We just rebuilt that one for
Yeah.
a few
There's
grand.
there's another thing there, another mystery.
How about those wackos that threw that stuff all over the war memorials in Boston?
Yeah,
And they finally got it off.
yeah, but they haven't got them yet.
They threw what?
No.
What did they do?
They threw some kind of a substance
Yeah.
that literally went into the granite. People think granite is solid. It's
No,
not.
it's not.
Yeah.
No,
It's
it's
not.
just
It has
porous.
pores.
Yeah.
So it went in, and it was a red substance, like an oily red substance, and
Yeah.
it soaked into it. And they had these granite guys working on it for a while to actually get it off. It was pretty weird.
Yeah, we had,
Some
well,
kind of protest or something against.
Yeah.
we had somebody graffitied the Legion building. And we tried sandblasting it, and we couldn't get it off. We borrowed a sandblaster from Riverdale Mill, and we couldn't get it off.
No.
You still see it there.
Lady was letting the dog. Again,
Again, yeah. Why?
there's no other places.
Yeah.
You have
Plenty
to
of
pick
trees.
that spot.
Plenty of trees.
Well, whatever the dog likes.
I know. It's very disrespectful, though.
There's another,
Yes, it is.
there's also a memorial down there to, how can I forget his name, died at Pearl Harbor, Stanley Thomas. When they closed the beach, they had a memorial at the beach. When they closed it, they had to get it out of there.
Oh.
So I had to put down in the, on Rockdale Common, 'cause
Oh.
he was from Rockdale. He lived next door to Ross.
Oh, well.
Yeah, Ross knew him. He died on the Arizona,
Oh, well.
still there,
Sort of.
yeah. So it was Spirit anyway.
I want to see what they're going to try and pull with Jeffrey Vale.
Yeah, there's a monument there,
I want to see what they're going to try and pull with that. That's been Vale Field for
yeah.
eons.
Well, since World War II.
Right. And you're going to, and they think they're going to fool with that, I bet. Because you can't touch it. You're not allowed to touch it.
No, no. Well,
There
it's
should
good-
be some things that are sacred.
That, that's under the direction of the
Soldiers and-
Soldiers Memorial,
Mm.
Soldiers and Sailors Memorial, which is
See-
a committee
see
in town.
See, one of the things they got to stop people from doing too is they can't smoke in the Notre Dame Cathedral anymore. Because that did not go well. One of my friends sent me a picture.
Did they have sprinklers in that thing?
No.
No.
It's 800 years old.
I know, but that's
They
like.
had a friend of mine sent me a picture of Quasimodo. I only dropped one cigarette.
I knew there had to be a Quasimodo joke somewhere.
Of course there was. There's
I
a ton
just
of them.
haven't seen
There was
one.
a
but
ton of them.
Well,
yeah.
you know,
Terrible.
they're saying that, but they're not positive
What?
it was a cigarette.
No, it wasn't. It was construction.
Yeah.
One of the nitwits probably left his torch
Well,
on.
they don't even know that for sure.
I-
There's some
It
talk
happens
now
all the
that
time.
Somebody left something because there was nobody.
there's some
the-
talk that
the
it could have been
company.
vandalism or terrorism.
Well, they did try back in 2016. They stopped
Yes.
an attempt to
Yep.
by some people from
But
ISIS
those
to-
timbers were solid timbers from
Oh yeah.
prehistoric age.
Oh yeah.
And
They
you're never
can't
going to
build
fill
that
that
back.
again.
They can't build that back the way it was.
No.
That's
No, they're going to have to use modern.
wait till like 50 years to build that church or something like that. Took
1,000
a
years.
lot of years.
1,000 years.
1,000, not 1,000 years.
Yeah.
1,000 years.
You would have generation after generation of masons working on that.
Wow.
I have a book about it, about how they built.
1,000 years.
Oh yeah.
That's a
Boy,
bad.
they didn't make their performance bonus.
No. No. And it was only once they developed the flying buttress, it was the way they were able to do that because there's no pillars inside to hold the roof up. It's done with what they call a flying buttress,
Right.
and then it's supported from the ground.
Yeah.
And when that was developed is when they were able to build these cathedrals. I visited cathedrals in Europe. They're beautiful.
Is the whole thing gone now? I haven't like.
No,
kept up.
a lot of the spires are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The main area
The roof is gone.
collapsed.
The roof is gone.
Collapsed.
Yeah.
They had pictures of it. I was watching it the other day.
Mm.
Just nutty. Nutty.
One cigarette. Huh?
No, it was yeah, Quasi.
Oh, that was part of the
Come on,
joke.
Quasi, yeah.
Lon Chaney.
Lon Chaney, that's right.
Yeah.
Lon Chaney.
Oh.
Hunchback in Notre Dame. Yeah, you,
You know who Quasimodo was?
Yeah, well, everybody.
Yeah, the Hunchback.
people
A lot of-
know
I bet
Quasimodo
kids today
is.
don't know.
bet you they don't.
Oh, a lot of kids.
Because
well,
they don't
probably
read
do
those
because,
books. They don't read
Disney-
those
this
books.
is
That's a
Disney-
great book.
Disney made a movie out of it.
Yeah, he did. But Disney, also there was a movie, Hollywood made a movie out of it in the
The
30s.
question is, who wrote The Hunchback of Notre Dame? That probably
Victor
they don't
Hugo.
know. They probably don't know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't it Dumas? It wasn't Dumas.
No, Dumas wrote
Hugo.
The Three Musketeers.
Yeah, Three Musketeers.
See? I'm a reader.
Wow, that's
Disney
you
owns
around.
everything now, by the way.
I know they're buying everything.
Victor
what they're doing?
Hugo.
They're gonna take all of their movies out of Netflix and make their own channel.
Yeah,
Who? Disney.
Disney.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Disney's gonna be.
They just bought Blue Sky.
Disney's gonna be making a lot of money this year.
Oh boy,
A lot of money.
they own everything.
They have the Star Wars movie coming out, and they have this Endgame thing coming
Yep.
out.
Yeah.
You see,
They
it's
just
not,
bumped my son-in-law's movie.
there were
It was
no,
supposed to
Di-
come out in September.
Which movie is that?
It's called Spies in Disguise. It's just the trailer's out. It was supposed to come out in September. It's not going to come out till Christmas Day.
They want to get shadowed by all these other big movies.
Because Aladdin didn't even
smart.
show up yet, right? I
Well,
think
there's
Aladdin
a
showed
real
up.
life Aladdin thing. What do you call it? What is it called when it's not like cartoon one?
Yeah,
That's another place where Disney's gonna
'Cause
make
that's,
tons of money.
that's Will Smith.
I don't even know who the heck. I just
Yeah, because he did Spies in Disguise and that, and they don't want him competing with himself. So they bumped it to, I think, to Christmas Day.
and then they're gonna have their own streaming service, like you said. Yeah, that's
exactly. That's what they're gonna do. And they're
but
gonna
Dis-
pull all
there's
their
no
movies out
Disney
of it.
people left in Disney.
Oh God, no.
They're all gone. They're all out of it.
Who?
The Disney family.
Are they all dead?
No.
No.
But
They
they're
bought 'em
all
all
out.
out.
They're all
Bought 'em
out.
all out.
Yep.
Huh.
I think they got golden parachutes that are pretty good.
But you know that the Disney family
than likely.
has a apartment in the Cinderella Castle,
Really?
and I think they still have it.
Do you know my uncle has a suite still in any time he wants, and it was passed down to his kids.
Where at?
Anywhere in Disney he wants.
Oh, anywhere in Disney.
Anywhere, anytime. He did all the promotional pictures for Disney.
Oh,
Yeah, he was a famous photographer.
Wow.
Did the Giants, the Yankees, did all the weddings, but he did Aer Lingus, Disney, and so he was a phenomenal photographer.
oh. Can you get to use it?
No, his kids do. Every time my wife's on Facebook and she goes, "Hey, your cousin's at Disney again," I'm like, "Son of a." I
went
love
to
Disney.
Disney once.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
beautiful place.
Oh, I've been there.
It's pretty
how many
unbelievable.
times?
And the
Lot of
first
work.
question my wife asked when my son-in-law said, Disney bought the studio, she said, "Do we get in a part for free?"
Yeah, yeah.
No,
The
no.
price is way up.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone
It's
crazy.
gone sky high. But they're ABC.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. They're getting Fox too, except
They
for
bought
the news.
Fox. They bought Fox Entertainment.
Yeah,
Right.
Fox
Right.
Entertainment.
And by Fox News or Fox
What kind of
Television.
money is that? Huh? That's like
Billions. Billions.
billions.
The thing is that you're getting one company owning too much.
Yep.
And that's not good. You have to have competition.
Yep.
But, look
They'll
at,
make their own movies only that will be released on the Disney Channel. On Disney streaming.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
As in they own Touchstone Pictures also, right? Disney doesn't own that?
yes, they do. They own
Yeah.
I didn't know
Touchstone.
that. I-
Touchstone was brought about because Walt Disney didn't want them doing any movies that weren't
Right, rated.
G-rated.
Yeah, right,
So they came up with Touchstone Pictures
right.
to be able to do the PG and the R and the
That's how
whatever.
they get around that.
Yeah. See, so Minnie Mouse could become naked.
And Pluto could put some clothes on,
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
like Goofy.
There's a joke in there. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
We'll leave it there.
You know where Mickey Mouse came from?
No.
When Walt Disney was in Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City was original studio, they were overrun by mice.
Oh.
And one of them, Walt Disney thought was pretty entertaining, and
Hmm.
and that's where he came up with the idea of Mickey Mouse.
Hmm.
And the first movie was Steamboat Willie.
That's right.
Right. Steamboat.
Well, no, first cartoon.
Wheelhouse, wasn't it? Wheelhouse or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
Steamboat Willie in the wheelhouse.
Wheelhouse, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So you all ready for Easter?
Yeah. We celebrated Sunday because my wife's working this Sunday.
Is it Berkowitz? I thought was
That's not
Jewish.
Jewish. He's Polish.
Yeah.
But
He's Polish.
I got a Jewish name, but I'm
you got a
Polish.
Jewish name,
Yeah.
but you're Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
You know, I got to give you, because this is my favorite Easter joke
Yeah.
about the three guys want to be the new janitors for the rectory. And they all qualified, and the first guy comes in, and the priest says, look, you know, you're qualified and everything, but it is a Catholic building. You got to know something about the Catholic religion. And he says, what does Easter mean? Guy thinks for a minute, he says, that's when the kids get dressed up and they go house to house for candy. He said, get out, just get out.
No, that's Halloween.
So the second guy comes in, he says the same thing. You know, you got to know something about religion. You know, what does Easter mean? He says, that's the fat guy with the red suit and the beard. He's like, get out, just get out. So the third guy comes in and he says the same thing. So, you know, got to tell me what's Easter. And the guy says, I think I know this. He says, well, come on. He says, well, that's when Christ carried that big cross through the streets and people were really mean to him. Yeah, come on. He said, and then they hung him on the cross. And he died. And he's like, yeah, come on. And then they took him down, and they put him in this cave like a tomb, and they rolled a big rock in front of it.
So far,
He
so
goes,
good.
yeah, come on. He goes, yeah. And then like 3 days later, they rolled the rock away. He came out, and there was 6 more weeks of winter. Get out.
Yeah, you know,
Groundhog.
when people say well, I'm Jewish, I said, well, look at, didn't Christ start out as a Jew?
He was.
Christ was Jewish.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people don't know
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
Some Jewish people don't know that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But there's a group of Jews, they call themselves Jews for Christ.
Jews for Jesus.
Jews
Yeah.
for Jesus, yeah.
Or Jews for Jesus.
Yeah.
Jews.
Jews for Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah, they've been around.
And what's
for a while.
Friday?
Good Friday.
No, what's Friday? Besides Good Friday, what's Friday?
You have to eat fish.
No, Passover.
Oh, yes,
Passover,
Passover.
Happy
which is
Passover.
a Jewish holiday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
huge.
Well, don't forget, Christ died during Passover.
Yes, yeah.
It's a very, very.
The Last
very
Supper
pretty-
was the Passover
It's all
supper.
connected.
Yeah,
very pretty. If you've ever been to
What?
Pesach, Passover, the Seder,
Oh, the
very,
celebration of-
Very, very beautiful.
I
Very
had
meaningful.
a Jewish friend that was going to invite me to, what's it, Shiloh is when they build the booths outside of their houses, and they stay there for a little bit.
Really?
oh, yeah.
And they're supposed to invite somebody, I guess.
Oh, no kidding.
And so it's
One of my
just-
best friends was Jewish, so I went to.
Yeah.
I went to Seder. I went to Hanukkah. I went to the
Mm-hmm.
Atonement, which is Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, all of that.
Bar mitzvahs,
Well, yeah, that's different. That's the whole
Yeah.
thing.
yeah.
Those are amazing. Those people
That's-
spend a lot of money on those things.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big time. It's when you become a man.
You don't want to get me started
Oh,
on
the
bar
bar
mitzvahs.
mitzvahs. Oh, yeah.
You don't want to get me started on bar
No.
mitzvahs.
Don't get them started on.
A young man
Yeah.
spends 13 months learning his prayers.
Yep.
That's the timeline. Everything they do is very specific. It's very beautiful
And
religion.
you have to learn the
Yeah.
prayers in Hebrew.
Right. So, at the time, I was working in a place in Worcester, and we did a lot of bar mitzvahs. And this young man is becoming a man, and he has the candles, and to each candle, he has to give a speech about why that candle's being lit.
They're like 9, right, or something? How many are there? 7 or 9?
You're right, it's 9.
Yeah.
I was going to say 11, it's 9. So, in the middle of this, people would come up to the bar and go, can I have a drink? I'm like, go sit down. They're like, no, I want to drink. I said, go sit down. I said, this kid's worked for 13 months.
Yeah,
Could
learning.
you have a little respect?
Yeah.
Sit down. So finally, every time there was a bar mitzvah, I would take the bars and push them back and tell everybody, get away. Get away. I'm not
Yeah, I
doing
mean,
that.
that's part
It's-
of the ceremony. You
it's
shouldn't be drinking at that time.
Unbelievable what they have to do. It's 13 months of intense learning.
Yeah, for a young kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part. As a matter of fact, I don't know too much about that.
All the religions are different.
Yep.
It's
Well, the whole thing is, though, if Moses had turned right instead of left,
That's true.
the Jews would have the oil.
That's right.
Another joke.
It's true, isn't it? Is it true?
Yeah,
You
probably.
think about it.
Well, he was
He
going to
left
run.
Egypt.
He was going to run in circles for a while.
Yeah, but if he left Egypt, if he would have went left, if he would have went right instead of left, he would have went down into Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
Yeah, one little step one way.
It's a thing that kills more people in the world than anything else is religion.
Yep.
Is it?
Oh, God, yes.
Well,
I
now-
thought it was planes.
An architect from Harvard said Notre Dame should be rebuilt in a non-religious manner. Well, wait a minute.
That's nonsense.
For one thing, the church doesn't own it, you know.
No?
No, the city of Paris owns it.
It's going to take them years to build.
They said they'll have it done in 5 years.
No way.
All right.
Well, they have
No
different
way.
equipment. now
Modern
than they had.
construction.
Come on, that thing is going to take
Maybe
a lot.
Maybe 15.
10 or 15 years. Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe, I don't know. They have.
Well, they took them thousands the last time.
Took it down. But that was I got a great book on that I bought. I mean, it's illustrated and everything, how they go down so deep to place the foundation in. And all done by hand. And that's where the masons came from. Because you had to be a stonemason to build that, and the trade would be handed down in generations. And it would be like, the great-great-great-grandson would be the one finishing it off.
So a friend of mine told me that he went to see Notre Dame about a year ago or something. And he said that when he went there, they had candles.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Yeah, they
don't
still
know
do.
if
Oh,
they
yeah.
leave the candles on or whatever when you know.
Well, the Catholic Church has one candle every year that burns
Yeah.
at all baptisms and different
I
ceremonies.
know. Why hasn't anybody said maybe it was a candle that fell down or something?
Could have been. I visited the beautiful cathedrals in Germany, and I'll tell you, it's amazing to see them. I mean, no pillars in the middle. Everything's wide open.
The only one I ever visited was St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City. And that's phenomenal. But I can't imagine how beautiful the ones are in Europe because that's where it all started. I mean, that's
Oh,
Yeah.
in Europe, they're
They-
hundreds
you
of
know.
years. Like, there's no comparison.
some crazy dude laying on his back painting for, how many years?
Yeah.
You'd be out of your mind.
Yeah.
That'd be
Of
stark
course, I
crazy.
heard some kids, when they heard the news that Notre Dame was on fire, said, that's terrible, I was gonna go to school there.
And that's probably true. That's probably true. Yeah. Yeah.
All the jokes. Well, the good thing is nobody died, right?
Right.
No.
Nobody got hurt. One firefighter
Which is
gets got
amazing
hurt.
when you think about it.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy with the thorn of
Yeah, the
Christ?
Yeah. What was
crown of
that?
thorns.
They had a crown of thorns. They had you're not allowed to touch that.
No,
Yeah.
You have to be a priest.
yep,
So the chaplain of the fire department,
he went
they
in
had,
and got
to,
it.
they had to gear him up
Yep,
to go get
Oh,
it.
is that
he went in
right?
and got it.
How about that? Hey, boss, you're gonna go in there and get that.
Yeah,
All right.
you're the only one who can handle it.
Yeah, he's the only one who can touch it.
Wasn't there like a cross that kept
Yeah.
standing up or something?
It's,
I
yeah,
saw a picture
if you
of
see
it.
the pictures of the burnt out inside, the cross, it doesn't even have any smoke damage.
Yeah.
It's
that's
still
weird.
bright gold.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Mysterious things like that, huh?
but I mean, the history in Europe is just amazing. Of course, I'm a big history guy, so,
Oh, they're so much older than we are.
oh, yeah.
I mean, America, not
Yeah.
us.
Oh yeah,
America.
they've been and yet, it seems like we're a little bit more advanced over here, aren't we?
There's a movie line that I think it was Stripes or something like that. He said, America, we're the wretched refuse of every other reasonable country. They sent us all over here to get rid of us. And here we are fighting for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, we are a mix of every country in the world.
Boy, we are.
Yeah. But, I mean, the history is because I'm a history guy, and that's why I love living in New England, because there's so much history here. But that is really old. Go to all the cities had huge walls around them and a castle in the center, and it's really something to see. That's what I enjoyed. I guess got some great pictures. In fact, when I was in Germany, though, they had a museum where you can go in and see what the city looked like after World War II.
Oh, wow.
And, I mean, it was just total desolation.
Mm.
And they rebuilt it. They rebuilt the walls, the ancient castles, and everything that had gotten destroyed. They rebuilt it. Some of the cathedrals got destroyed.
Mm.
And they rebuilt them.
Wasn't that Chicago fire like a pretty huge?
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
Huge, yeah.
Yep.
See, how does that happen? Like,
Mrs. O'Leary's cow.
How about,
Mrs. O'Leary's cow. what
Yeah.
is-
Yeah,
Knocked
that's
over a
that's
candle.
the story.
knocked over a cow. That's how it happened.
how about, what was it, we did the 100th anniversary or the 50th anniversary of the molasses? That's hard
Yeah.
to believe
Oh,
that there
my
was that much
God.
molasses. It flooded Boston.
Yep.
People died.
People say that on a hot day you can still smell the molasses
It was a molasses factory.
in the North
in
End.
Boston, in the North
Yeah,
End.
yeah.
And it was so big that it burst.
Well,
it
they had
filled the
a
entire
big
city
container,
with
like
molasses.
a water tower,
Yeah.
a container where they kept molasses. See, molasses was used. Well, molasses they used to make rum, and they used it for water. That was used for sweetener.
Yeah.
And they would take it from the Caribbean and bring it up here and store it, and they had a place that processed it. In fact, when I was a kid, we used to eat molasses all the time. My mother would heat it up on the stove, and we dip into it. It was tasty. But anyway, it blew open, and a river of molasses came down the street. People were buried in it,
Wow.
hot
Yeah.
molasses.
Yeah, look it up.
And there are rumors today that if you go to that part of the North End on a hot day, you can still smell the molasses because it seeped into everything.
That's just not the way that you want to die, though. Like,
No, no, no.
No, no,
That's
no.
sticky.
how did you die? Is I got covered with molasses, and it's
Yeah.
just
Well, it'd be like being in a volcanic eruption.
not very heroic.
No.
Well, it's a little. Yeah.
That's when you go up to the Kates. Well, how'd you die? I got covered in molasses. Get out.
Yeah, yeah.
Get out.
Don't even explain how that happened.
Hey, we're getting to the end here.
Oh.
Good show, though. Hey, my guest tomorrow night, I brought a card in so I can remember it, Leslie Parody. And Leslie is a manufacturing extension partnership representative out of Worcester. And we're going to get into what that's all about. It's workforce development manager. And she's working with Jeannie Hebert down there with that new school that she's put together down there. That's going to do a lot of great things for a lot of kids that can go and get a good education without having to go to college, and they don't get into trade school. They got a chance to get an education down there
That's cool.
and walk out with a good job.
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's good.
including probably the best job of all, coding.
I don't know how they do that.
I know.
You got to be something else to do that. Boy, that blows me
She's,
away.
they've already started. They got some guys starting on it. She's working with the Grafton Job Corps. They got some kids already learning the code, and they were told by some of the people that hire that they will hire them right out of there.
Wow.
Oh,
They're
computer
desperate.
coding.
They can't
Computer
find.
coding,
Yeah.
programming.
I
Yeah.
can't even turn mine on.
They
I
can't
I
find
got a
people
new
to
one.
do
I
it.
can't turn it on.
Programming takes a special kind
Oh,
of
God.
person.
So much smarter than me.
So,
Different kind of brain.
Oof.
I'll be tomorrow night at 7:00.
Good for you.
Well, we gotta go now. So we'll see you next week. We'll see you next week, maybe. Is the golf course still
I have
drying
not
out?
heard a word, so I don't.
Oh.
I don't anticipate being anywhere but here.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Even though it's nice out.
There's
Probably
no-
still light out there right now.
Yeah, it'll be dark when we get out.
It will be?
Yeah.
Oh.
We got another month. We'll be here until the end
9
of
o'clock.
end of May, and then we'll take the summer off. See you next week. We're already.